So it's always been of interest to me when Christians try and explain how they make sense of all the evil and suffering in the world. So in this video, I'm going to be looking at a few responses given by Cameron Bertuzzi of Capturing Christianity. So let's see what he has to say.
One of the best reasons that theologians have offered is what's called soul building. Soul building says that without evil, we'd actually be losing out on the greatest goods. Have you ever forgiven someone that hurt you or had compassion on someone that was in pain? Now ask yourself, in a world with no evil in it at all, would you have been given the same opportunities to exemplify these goods and develop your character in these unique ways? The answer, of course, is no. So here's what I'm getting at. Taking away evil in the world actually means taking away the greatest goods.
So, Cameron explicitly claims that taking away evil would take away the greatest goods. But on most prominent versions of theism, this is just nonsense. As philosopher J.L. Schellenberg explains, quote, "Every worldly good that permits or requires evil is greatly exceeded by a pure good of the same type existing in God prior to creation. This is interesting. What it forces us to notice and take seriously is that since, say, instances of courage and compassion presuppose evil or its permission, these goods cannot exist in God prior to creation, and yet God is then unsurpassably great." In other words, it's not at all clear that the greatest goods require evil, even on theism. But if we assume Christian theism, the problem just gets even worse. Because if divine persons can have an unsurpassably deep, loving, and good relationship without the presence or possibility of evil, then why couldn't human persons have some kind of relationship that would image that one and mirror after it?
Now you might be thinking that these goods pale in comparison to some of the bads in the world. You might be wondering, well, how does forgiveness outweigh child cancer? Now I happen to think that humans in general are just really bad about weighing goods and bads with all the emotions involved and everything.
If humans are really bad about weighing all the goods and bads because of all the emotion involved, then I guess they would be really bad at critically assessing their deeply held religious beliefs too, huh?
Let's put that worry aside. Let's just assume that we can't think of a good answer to this question. Does it follow now that God doesn't exist? Still no. All that means is that we have a gap in our knowledge. That's it. Saying, I don't know why God allows child cancer, but surely God has a reason, is a completely legitimate answer. After all, there is a limit in what we can understand, so we shouldn't expect to know everything.
This kind of reasoning is broadly in accordance with what's called skeptical theism. And while it might sound intuitive on its face, philosophers have pointed out all kinds of problems that result if theists accept this kind of reasoning. The logic undergirding these claims has the ability to possibly affect our moral reasoning, arguments from natural theology, arguments from divine revelation, and certain religious epistemologies. For more on that, see the links in the description. As you should hopefully be able to see, a lot of common responses to evil just aren't all that they're cracked up to be. And as always, it's been fun, and I'm out.